Hi, I'm Victoria Sauer, Marketing Manager at BrightCom, and here with me is BrightCom CEO Bob McCandless. And today we'll be starting the first of many series on a video series of Telepresence and Video Conferencing, Past, Present, and Future. Today we'll be talking a little bit about the past, and we'll have a few other videos coming up regarding the same subject. But let's get down to it. Let's start off with the first question. So Bob, you have built your career on designing technology with the main goal of finding new and effective ways for people to communicate and collaborate. In your opinion, how has information technology impacted the way humans communicate? I mean, this can go back from really early history, all the way back. I mean, what do you feel, how has it happened?
Well, I think that, gosh, you know, information technology I think is like the most important thing in the growth of human evolution and technology. You know, if you go back to, you know, early Homo sapiens, you know, living in caves, living in fields, living in grass huts, you know, how did we kind of escape that kind of pre-technology society? And I think the way we escaped that was through information technology, through storing and, more importantly, communicating kind of the ideas of the people that came before us. So, you know, kind of early people, they might, you know, draw on a cave wall or have songs or some way of communicating. And that meant that you didn't have to go back and do that and through trial and error. You could kind of learn it and then go forward from there. You know, doing that and then looking at things like being able to move on to papyrus or hieroglyphics or more advanced languages or forms of communication. What those all are about is being able to store information so that I can give you something and then you can kind of pick it up there and learn that without having to go back and relearn it from the beginning. So each step we take in storing and communicating information technology, so we can store and communicate information, means that we have to take less time redoing things. So, you know, if you look at kind of where we are today, you know, we come out of, you know, our early childhood and we're in school. We already know more than, you know, most kids have done throughout most of human history, because our schools are so efficient at kind of, you know, textbooks and information and the internet and sharing. All of that is just an amazing array of technology for storing and communicating information that helps us, you know, by the time we get into college, we're very well educated.
Right.
That means we skipped, you know, just decades of wasted time that we used to have to go back and waste. So I think kind of the biggest impact of information technology is the one that can best store and best communicate, you know, to you a thought or an idea or a complex, you know, the more complex, you know, as time goes on, our ideas get more and more complex. You know, try to communicate the idea of a nuclear reactor to a 15-year-old. Well, you can now. It's actually, most 15-year-olds are pretty well aware of how a nuclear reactor works. So, whereas, you know, somebody 200 years ago, that would not have been possible. So it's really interesting. If you look at 90% of the information that we'll know 50 years into the future, of that information, 90% of it will be learned in the next 50 years. So the rate with which we're gathering information is increasing very fast, which means our ability to store it and communicate it needs to increase as fast as well. Otherwise, it'll take us longer to learn what people knew last year.
So basically what you're saying, things like the printing press or things like things that distributed and collected all the information at once, more people were able to see it and understand it. As the internet is doing, more people are able to see it, understand it in different ways, and collect that and store it and then go back to it pretty easily. Yeah,
absolutely. Like I was watching, the other day I was at my house and I was kind of moving around the house and I didn't have a way, it was Barack Obama's State of the Union speech that he did. And I didn't have a way to watch it because I was just kind of moving around my house. And it was funny, I took my iPhone and I thought, you know, I'll just type in State of the Union into Google, and sure enough, up it comes with whitehouse.gov streaming live on the iPhone. And I was able to, you know, to watch that and get that information even though I was moving, which, you know, that ability to communicate, you know, that I didn't have to go somewhere, you know, means that more people participated in that information. More people now know, you know, kind of the State of the Union of the United States, and are able to apply that more quickly. So, pretty cool.
Very cool. Okay, well, let's start getting a little up in history. In the early 1900s, comic books, movies, TV, and other media portrayed the future with video phones and video wristwatches and other real-time video technology that was pretty futuristic for the day. How's the entertainment industry's perception of the future influenced the advancement of video conferencing or communication technology today?
Well, the movie industry is, you know, is an outgrowth of the writing industry and the, you know, art industry. You know, movies are kind of the most advanced form of, you know, kind of fantasizing about things that we want to have in the future. and they can portray them in very realistic ways. They make it really easy for R&D people to say, "Oh, I want to build that, that hand-waving thing from that Tom Cruise movie. I really want to do that because that was really cool." And now we see that. There's multi-touch screens and all kinds of capabilities that very closely mimic that, kind of early vision that was out there. I think that movies in particular really help us to see clearly the next generation of technology. Obviously, there's so many parallels here. The flip communicator from Star Trek that became the flip phone that we realized we don't want to talk out here, we want to put it up to our ear. They missed that. We always do tend to refine things a little bit, though, from kind of the holodeck immersive experience to kind of more of the telepresent immersive experience is a little different twist on the same idea. It doesn't always come out the same, but it does give us a starting point where now collectively a large group of people have seen that vision and can all kind of work independently or together to achieve that vision. Really is the impact I think that movies have on us.
So things like obviously Dick Tracy's wristwatch. You think that's going to come in?
I saw a video phone that actually was a two-way video communication device that you could wear on your wrist and talk back and forth, and it just looked really weird. Yeah. It's one of those things that it sounds really cool, but when you're actually talking to your wrist and seeing someone and then showing other people, oh, look around, it just isn't very practical. Maybe a portable cell phone or a smartphone that has that capability or a tablet, I think would be really cool. A little better, a little bigger screen.
Right, makes more sense.
I don't want a screen that big on my wrist.
Yeah,
bizarre.
A little clunky, not fashionable. Well, thank you very much. We'll look forward to talking to you again soon in our next couple upcoming video series. Thank you.